Okay, guys, the Sunday night watch list for the week, at least a list to start with. We will, of course, add stocks Monday morning before the open, gappers, and then after the open, high volume plays and that sort of thing for the chat room. But it's always nice to have a list to start out with. So here it goes. Deckers Outdoor, DECK, nice big volume breakout right here on Friday. A lot of shorts in this name, so this one could be multi-day, certainly on our watch list going into the week. Smith & Wesson, SWHC. Ruger, RGR has been very strong since earnings. I fully expect Smith & Wesson to have blowout numbers as well, which I think is Tuesday after the bell. Double check that. And so we might get a nice move into earnings. I'm not suggesting to hold it into earnings, once the market closes on Tuesday, if my earnings date is correct. But, my wife and I went to dinner like a month ago, and the restaurant was right next to Gander Mountain. So we went in there, and I wanted to see this Taurus revolver I had seen that takes shotgun shells and 45 caliber bullets as well. It'll shoot either one. I thought, hey, that's pretty cool. So I wanted to look at one of those, and we had to take a number. And this was, like a Friday evening when you wouldn't think people would be shopping for guns. And I had to wait over an hour just to see one. And, I think that's a sign of the times, right? People think that they're going to have their right to bear arms taken away. And so I would, just from my own personal experience, expect Smith & Wesson to have huge numbers in addition, or as well as Ruger did. And so maybe we get a run now. Keep in mind, it's already had a 2 or 3 day run into earnings. But on an intraday basis, we might get some nice moves in SWHC for trades. Again, I'm not telling anyone to hold into the actual earnings report, but I'd be surprised if they don't have blowout numbers. Best Buy, hard to make a bullish argument for this business. They call it Amazon's showroom, right? But Best Buy reported Friday and sold off and ended up closing near its high. So interesting, and kind of broke a little flag here. So I'm going to keep an eye on this one for some possible more upside. And again, only take a trade on an intraday basis. I'm not an overnight holder. I'm a day trader, but that one's interesting to me. AMX. It's not shown on the chart, but October 2011, this daily chart had a very nice multi-day bounce off of this area, this exact area, and now you've got a nice bottoming tail from Friday after the gap down, a bounce, and then what, like a 2-week sell-off. So this one on long watch for this week as well. This is a thinner stock, thinner than I usually call, but it's still an interesting chart. Again, I'm always drawn to stocks that have a lot of shorts in it, and especially the low floaters can move nicely. As you can see, Diamond Foods did back here, went from whatever it was, 14 to almost 17 in a day. Flagging ever since, starting to get a little more volume, and over this 16 area, maybe heads up to retest the recent highs and maybe starts a multi-day breakout. So, it doesn't cost you anything to keep DMND on a chart as the trading week unfolds and see if you can't catch a trade. That's what we'll be doing. Anyway, that's our short watch list to start the week with. And as I said earlier, we'll be adding stocks as gappers and early morning volume plays and that sort of thing. All the entries taken on an intraday basis, though. Try to focus only on low-risk setup. So as far as daily charts, this is a decent list to start with. All right, I'll quit babbling. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow night.